Good evening, and thank you for tuning in and for checking this edition of the Atlanta News First Plus stream, ANF stream. We're going to focus on the forecast tonight. Time now is 8:01, and what a weather day we had today. Still a first alert weather day. The first kind of impact report of that designation. It was the line of rain and storms, severe storms that moved through earlier this evening. We're done with that, so that's the good news. And now we're on to kind of the second impact, the second variable of the forecast, and that is the wind combined with much colder weather. Again, temperatures are still tumbling outside across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. We're just starting the stream now. Probably more questions than normal regarding the first alert forecast here because it's a very changeable one. We have yet another storm system, first alert weather day Friday. We still have wind. We still have cold this evening. Storms have moved out, but the damage has been done. We have had numerous reports of trees down. In some instances, a tree on at least one home in Gwinnett County. Also, power lines down. We've had some minor ponding on roadways, and we still have wind. In fact, here less than an hour ago, Hartsfield-Jackson was still gusting stronger than 40 miles an hour. So we're going to talk about what the conditions are like right now for those about to head out the door, maybe for evening plans. We'll walk you through that hour-by-hour forecast here on this ANF Plus stream. Look ahead to Friday's forecast, and we're still going to recap some of the damage that we have still out there this evening. I want to remind you, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, we are streaming right now on YouTube. Looks like I'm going to have to switch it over to public. Unfortunately, it does look like it is on the private feed right now. So if you're watching on Roku, Amazon Fire, just bear with me here. We're going to have to kind of slowly slide into this stream as I edit this YouTube stream at the moment. And hopefully we should be now going to public. And now everyone will be notified of this stream. So again, if you are watching on YouTube, probably not many at the moment, just switched it back over to public. But again, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, and you're watching on Roku, Amazon Fire, AtlantaNewsFirst.com, in the First Alert Weather app, Apple TV, wherever. YouTube now live, you can access it. We just switched that setting. Unfortunately, I had to do it live here during this stream, but it is live and available for you to watch. And I'm going to be monitoring the comment feed as well here going forward. I want to take you live outside first. Again, it is still windy. Rain has moved out, but it is still a brisk evening. Wind still gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour pretty consistently across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, hence the first alert weather day. Shock to the system. We were in the 70s today, mid-70s today, low to mid-70s yesterday. My AC actually kicked on yesterday evening. It was kind of a mild, somewhat muggy yesterday evening, overnight into this morning. It was kind of a warm and windy day, and then we had these showers and thunderstorms roll through, bringing big changes to the first alert forecast. But the good news, we're going to go ahead and go to satellite and radar. We will start with the big picture, and you will notice that rain has moved out of the area. Again, you can see that broken line of, at this point, showers, not even much in the way of thunderstorm activity left. Moving out of North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, there are still a few sprinkles stretching from the Troup and Heard County line back over into Coweta County, southern Clayton County. You know, maybe not completely dry, but we're just talking sprinkles here. No more downpours, no more puddle-making rains. Those have all moved out, at least of the city of Atlanta, Conyers, Rockdale County, some sprinkles. Moving into Newton and Walton counties. This is tracking into Morgan County, the Madison community. Still some steadier light rain in southern Putnam County, right around Lake Oconee, Lake St. Clair, working its way into Milledgeville. Back into Forsyth, Lamar County, Upson County, our far southern Atlanta News First viewing area. Still some light rain to be had, and why this is lingering in our southern communities a little bit longer. Again, no severe weather risks. These are nowhere near the intensity that storms were as they moved through Metro Atlanta earlier. This whole line may be drifting off to the south and to the southeast, but these individual clusters of showers are riding from southwest to northeast, kind of training, repeatedly moving over the same areas along this front that is only slowly now sagging off to the south. It moved through Atlanta very quickly, and then it kind of put on the brakes, and that's why we're seeing some of these light showers linger just a little bit longer, well south of the city. If you're watching from Cleveland, Randolph counties in Alabama, Clay County, North Carolina, extreme north and northwest Georgia, the far north metro, everyone is dry, though still cloudy, windy, and temperatures are dropping. And speaking of wind, we're still dealing with some outages. This is our latest estimate from some of our in-house data sources here, estimating around the metro. So from Bartow County, Floyd County, Chattooga County, Cherokee County, Cobb County, Fulton County, DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, Clayton County, Fayette County, and Henry County, so those several counties I just listed, we're looking at a handful of thousand people, customers, still without power. Generally, probably overall an estimate of about 5 to 10,000 still without power, but remember that's spread out across several counties. Thanks in big part to the storms that moved through earlier, but also because we're still dealing with wind gusts 30 to 40, at times 45 miles an hour. Wind advisories in effect until midnight tonight, so it will be a while before winds completely taper back down. Wesley Millsap is checking in from Ackworth. Thank you for tuning in, Wesley. I don't know, Wes, I think you might have a home thermometer. You might have mentioned that before. If you could tell me if you know what your thermometer is reading up in Ackworth, I would love to hear it because we're getting some new data coming in. Canton, just up the road from you, is already down to 43. Rome, 47. Blairsville, 40. So cold air is filtering in. But, Wesley, if you do have a thermometer up in Ackworth, again, would love to get that more precise and to the minute a report from far north Cobb, southern Cherokee County around, Ackworth and Woodstock. I'm willing to bet you're in the mid-40s. But if you could just reach out to me on YouTube again, for those that are watching on another platform, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, YouTube, Atlanta News First is the account to like and to follow. And I'll be monitoring those comment threads. Speaking of some folks still being without power, a reminder, you can always get the First Alert forecast even if in the worst case your power is out, by downloading the First Alert weather app or scanning the QR code upper right-hand corner of the screen. Always have the forecast there, and what's really important, not a big issue tonight, but if we ever were in a weather scenario where the power would be out for an extended period and the weather was more severe, you can actually stream the newscast there in the First Alert weather app. All you have to do is scroll down and click Watch Live. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. Temperatures in the city of Atlanta back into the upper 40s over the next hour to hour and a half. We're going to wake up to 30s tomorrow morning, 2, 3, 4 a.m., already back in the 30s, and that's for the city of Atlanta. 30s even earlier for their outlying. As far as the out-the-door time, 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m., temperatures slowly recovering from upper 30s back to near 40. Winds tomorrow morning, not as gusty as they are right now, but enough to add a brisk feel and to certainly make it feel colder than that 38, 40 degrees. Thermometer may say 38, it may feel like 28 when that wind blows. So just keep that in mind. We're waking up to lots of clouds as well. Not a terrible morning, but a brisk morning. Not the sunniest of mornings, but also not quite the gloomiest of mornings. I think there will at least be some peaks of sunshine, kind of trying to squeeze on through there through the morning commute. We'll give you a green light. Don't anticipate the weather to have much of an impact on that drive in. That's always good news on a Friday Eve, a Thursday morning, right? Tomorrow will be a cloudier day. It may look like it's going to rain at any particular moment, but I think that all we're really going to have tomorrow is maybe a sprinkle or two in the afternoon and really just clouds. So it's going to look gloomier than it actually ends up being. Temperatures out the door in the morning. We've talked about how they would be upper 30s in the city of Atlanta, but maybe some mid-30s outside of I-285. Lower 30s up in Kennesaw, Roswell 34, Douglasville 34, McDonough 36. Up in Dalton, 31, Blairsville, 26. So our mountain communities from Fannin and Gilmer counties all the way to western and northwestern Rabun County, probably waking up to 20s tomorrow morning, Clay County, North Carolina. If maybe we have some viewers up around Chattanooga and extreme northwest Georgia, north of Dalton, freeze likely, upper 20s, lower 30s, highest of elevations, mid-20s. A possibility. Pretty much everyone else, low to mid-30s, including the city of Atlanta. And from there, we're going to warm up. It'll be cloudy, winds will be lighter, and we're going to warm up just a little bit with temperatures back in the 50s tomorrow afternoon. Keep in mind, considering we've been in the 70s the past couple of days, it'll feel cooler tomorrow. A little bit of a shock to the system, so just want you to be aware you will need the jacket just about all day long tomorrow, with temperature stuck in the mid. Some communities upper 50s, but most, I think, in the mid-50s. Case in point, here's a look at our forecast high temperatures. Overall, this is not an hour-by-hour forecast, but your peak number in these temperatures occurring generally between maybe 3:30 and about 5 o'clock in the late afternoon, early evening. Going 57 in Atlanta, Gainesville 56, Athens 57, Rome 55, Newnan 57. Notice all the cloud icons there. It's possible we could see some peaks of sunshine, maybe for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. But clouds really kind of ruling that forecast tomorrow, and eventually those clouds will give way to scattered showers moving in as early as tomorrow evening, maybe just after this time. Loading up our forecast model, let's bring the clock back here. Here we are at 2 p.m. Thursday. There are the clouds, temperatures stuck in the low to mid-50s. Going deeper into the afternoon, the evening. So here we are, 6, 7 p.m. Thursday night. A lot of folks have dinner plans, maybe date plans. I had a school visit the other day. Folks were talking about their soccer practices. Thursday evening is kind of a busy evening for those sorts of activities. I think we're dry through 6, 7, 8 p.m., though lots of clouds. But watch what happens 8:30, 9:30, 10. We start to have some rain moving into the North Metro. The city of Atlanta, even the south side getting in on some rain, and rain only increases through the overnight hours. By the time we're talking midnight Friday morning, 1, 2 a.m. Friday, we're talking widespread rain building back in. And at this point, we have a first alert weather day for Friday. So keep that in mind. Today, first alert weather day, our rain and storms are done. We're just talking about cold. We're talking about chill right now. But as we get back into our Friday, once again, we're talking about the likelihood that we will be seeing more rain, steady, chilly rain at that across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. The kind of rain that'll have you reaching for the jacket, bundling up, because not only do you want to stay dry, but you want to stay warm. It'll be a very chilly rain. Again, first alert weather day, midnight, 1 a.m., kicking back in on our Friday morning. And we'll go further out in time here to the all-important Friday morning commute forecast. Everyone wants a nice morning commute, right, with no issues. Unfortunately, not looking to be the case this go around. Here we are, 4, 5 a.m. Look how widespread rain is becoming. And this is steady rain. Temperatures are stuck in the low to mid 40s, mountains upper 30s. And that breeze will only add to the cold factor. 9, 10, 11 a.m. I mean, this is a snapshot of your Friday morning. We're talking rain everywhere. Persistent, steady rain at that, with temperatures hovering in the low to mid 40s. We may try to reach 50 Friday afternoon once rain tapers off a little bit. But for most of the day, 40s, a breeze, steady rain. Here we are at 1 p.m., still raining steadily. Not incredibly heavy. It's not torrential rain. It's not a flooding sort of rain, but it is a steady, wet, cold, windy, drizzleable sort of rain on our Friday. So do keep that in mind. As we get into 2, 3, 4 p.m., for Friday afternoon plans, leaving the office a little early. Yes, drier than Friday morning, but I don't think it's completely dry. We're still tracking some spotty rain, some drizzle. Temperatures stuck in the 40s. Not exactly a pretty Friday evening across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, with temperatures remaining in the 40s. 8 a.m. Saturday, we're drier, but still not exactly pretty, with thick clouds. I think low clouds. Saturday morning could even be some patchy fog with chilly temperatures in the 40s for the most part. And this weekend is shaping up to be, we'll call it decent. Don't think it's going to be beautiful, but drier today with today's data, looking at this weekend compared to how it was looking yesterday for the weekend. Early AM showers at 30% Saturday, hoping for peaks of sunshine Saturday afternoon, back up in the mid-60s. As we get into Sunday, still lots of clouds. Temperatures mid-60s, so a little bit more comfortable. Upper 60s with a little bit more sunshine Monday. There's that 70 degrees. It's back in the forecast Tuesday. And I think that, it's going to be a nice little warm-up going into early next week. Unfortunately, it's the kind of warm-up that tends to come with clouds, not a picturesque, 70 and sunny sort of setup, but a decent day Tuesday, all ahead of the next chance of widespread rain moving in Wednesday. Could be some rumbles of thunder. Wednesday system, like today, there could be a strong to severe storm or two. Not looking like there's going to be a severe weather outbreak, but it all depends on this track. As far as our local impact is concerned, this track of this area of low pressure, and we're still talking 6, 7, 8 days away from now, so there's a lot of uncertainty with the exact path and what ingredients are in place ahead of that system. But nonetheless, want to drive home the point that this active weather pattern continues across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, and chilly rain, first alert weather day, is back in the forecast Friday, followed by a little bit of a break coming up this weekend, and then Monday into Tuesday, probably the pick days of that extended forecast, and then rain returns very quickly as we get back into our Wednesday middle portion of next week. So again, today, first alert weather day, we're recapping this. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out. Still watching that Atlanta News First account on YouTube, watching that stream. Do want to remind you that you can always grab that forecast in the First Alert Weather app and at atlantanewsfirst.com. What you're looking at right now is a view of the Atlanta News First website. And again, we're looking at conditions improving out there, but we still have some issues after some early afternoon, I should say, and early evening showers and thunderstorms moving across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Again, this is the latest First Alert forecast, but we have also had reports of trees and power lines down. So embedded within our weather story, you'll likely see pictures, especially from the north side, up in Cobb County, up in Cherokee County. Sandy Springs Police also letting us know of some road closures earlier today. We did have a tree on a home earlier. That was in Gwinnett County, just one of many reports of trees and power lines down. So just keep that in mind. There could be still some issues this evening with winds still blowing. Certainly, we're watching the potential for the possibility of more limbs to come down, something we're going to be watching through the evening. I think now through midnight it's going to be windiest. We're talking wind gusts 35, 45 miles an hour possibly. And then after midnight, wind advisory will be allowed to expire, and we'll see much better conditions, calmer conditions re-enter the picture as we get into our kind of wee hours of our Thursday morning. So I want to thank you for tuning in. Doesn't look like we have too many questions, comments, concerns coming in on YouTube. Reminding you that First Alert Meteorologist Patrick Pete and I are back together this evening. You can catch Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate, starting at 10 p.m. And then Patrick Pete will have the latest First Alert forecast on the late news tonight at Atlanta News First at 11 on WANF. Always, if you're on the go this evening, maybe you can't stay up late with us, get that forecast in the First Alert weather app and at atlantanewsfirst.com. Stay warm this evening, bundle up. It's getting cold and remaining windy outside. Another check of your forecast coming up here in about an hour and a half.